guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jazz, and if you don't know, now you do. And how are you guys? How are you doing? I am busy as ever, you already know. Work, trying to get these earrings done. I try to film as well. So just that same old adult life. But how are you guys doing? It is already starting to get cold outside. And it's already about to be November, which is super crazy. I can't believe how much this year honestly has gone by. I mean, don't get me wrong, like I'm ready for 2020 to end, but it's just crazy how fast this year has honestly gone. But for today, I wanted to sit down and film with you guys. So if you've seen my last video, you've seen that I got the Colourpop palette. And honestly, it is so gorgeous. You can do so many looks with it. I absolutely love it. And I honestly wanted to do another look today. So if you want to see how I achieve this look, just keep watching. Alright guys, so for today's video, we're going to be doing a voiceover. And firstly, I'm going to be using the Revolution Pro Ultimate Coverage Crease Proof Concealer. Y'all already know that I love using this as an eyelid primer. It's a little too thick for concealer, but I definitely use it as an eyelid primer because it cancels out any discoloration and it makes my eyeshadows blend really well. So then, of course, we're going to be using this bad boy right here. This is the Colourpop and Hocus Pocus collab. And at first I didn't know what I was going to use, but I ended up deciding to go with Hello Salem, which is that beigey light color. I did use it in the crease, but kind of blew it out on the whole lid as well. I basically just blend this out, blend in the crease. I did like the color and it did blend really well. And then next I actually used Come Little Children, and even though you look at it in the pan, it does have a little bit of a sparkle, but to be honest with you, it doesn't come out too much when you put it on your lid. It's kind of one of those like fake sparkles. It's more of like a matte with like a little bit of sparkle thrown on top of it, but I really liked how it looked on my lid, especially, or not on my lid, on my crease with the color Hello Salem. So I liked how it looked, and that's why I used it. And then of course for some sparkle, I used the Brew Potion color, which is like a pretty gold, chunky, sparkly kind of thing. I had to actually put on a couple of layers. Even though it looks super bright in the pan, I definitely had to add some layers on. So that's why you see me, kind of going in and then adding, in and then adding. But it was a pretty color, and overall it did look really pretty with the crease color. And then actually I ended up blending it all out just so it can all kind of go mesh and kind of just look a little more cleaner. And I always do this. I didn't add anything on the brush. Like I said, it's just to blend it all out. And then next, I ended up using that, I call it a bust color, which is that black and sparkle. Once again, it's kind of like that Come Little Children color where it looks really sparkly, but it's really not. It's more of the matte, of course, with like the sparkle thrown on top. But I wanted to definitely deepen up this look a bit, so that's why I added it in the inner V part. I basically just tapped it in there. I tried not to do too much because black is kind of intimidating, but I added a little bit, and then I, of course, blended it just so it can all mesh, of course. And then we are actually just going to clean her up. I always just use a makeup wipe, kind of just clean it up a bit and get all that fallout out because I did have a little bit on there. Then, boom, put some eyeliner on. And of course put some lashes as well, and then use a little bit of the black liner for that in between. I really love these Dollar Tree lashes. I think they're super cute, super wispy. They're definitely a favorite. And then I'm going to put some moisturizer on. You already know I'm using the avocado one by Glow Recipe. And then I put some primer on. You already know I'm using my e.l.f. Putty primer. She is a favorite. She is a drugstore, but she works so well. I'm actually running low of her. I really need to go to Ulta and pick me up some more because I can't be out of her, because let me tell y'all, she be covering up my pores. So I definitely need to go snatch me up some. For foundation, I actually had this sample from Makeup Forever. It was the Matte Velvet Skin Primer, or not primer, foundation. I do have the powder one, but this is actually the liquid one, and I really liked how this looked on my skin. It didn't look super matte or drying at all. I actually need to pick me up a big one of this because I really liked how it looked. And then for concealer, of course, one of my favorites, it is the Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue Concealer. I want to say this is in 14, I think the shade name is. I think it's like a light medium, but it's one of my favorite concealers. It's full coverage. It doesn't look cakey on the skin, and it blends really easily. So like I showed you before, actually in another video, I only do a little bit and a little bit of that corner. I try not to put as much concealer as I used to. Then I'm using my Laura Mercier powder. She is amazing. She makes my skin flawless. This is actually one of my favorite powders. I don't know why it took me so long to get on the bandwagon, but let me tell you, she is a gorgeous powder. And then of course next, I gotta put some color back into me. So I'm gonna be using, if I can open her up, I'm gonna be using the Princess Ave palette by, I believe this is Too Faced or Tarte. No, I think it's Tarte. But I'm actually gonna be using, I want to say that is the Angle color. Yeah, I think it's the Angle shade. Just dabbing that in there, and I'm going to be bronzing my face. You know, definitely for sure, I got to bronze these cheeks because I got to chisel them out. And of course, make sure when you bronze, you go upward. And then as well with your blush, I actually use the Anastasia Blush Trio. This is the peach one. Once again, make sure you're angling that up so you can look more chiseled, especially if you got them chunky cheeks like me. That's what the trick is, to make it a little more flattering. I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier, no, not Laura Mercier, oh my god, Laura Geller, I cannot talk today, Laura Geller highlighter. This is in Gilded Gold. It is a beautiful highlight. It makes you look so beaming. You only need a little bit, and look at that. Just a little bit, and it already looks that good. Then I'm actually going to be using a liner. I think this was the KVD Cake Liner. This is just in a black liner. I wanted a little bit of darkness underneath. And then, of course, I'm going to put a little bit of the same crease color underneath as well, but that is a little bit later on. Oh, no, not that later on. This is the Come Little Children color that I used. I want to say it was the second color I used, the one with like the fake sparkle. But that's what I'm just basically rubbing on the bottom of my lash. Then I'm going back to that same highlighter that I used on my cheeks and putting it in my inner corner. This is such an essential step. It makes your eyes definitely bigger than what they are. I don't know, it just adds something to it. I feel like it is super important. But then I'm actually going to chisel out my cheeks a little bit more. I feel like I got to clean them up a bit. I may have gone down a little too much with the powder. So I'm actually taking that yellow tone powder, and I'm going to use the Morphe sponge. And it does have that perfect angle. Look at that. Perfect angle in order to make it a more chiseled look. I like to do this when I go a little overboard, but I definitely think it makes a difference. You might not think so at first, because I'll be honest, I didn't really do this in the beginning when I first started makeup. But now that I do it, I completely see a difference, and I feel like my face looks thinner as well. Then for my lips, I definitely wanted to use a red lipstick. So I couldn't decide which one at first I was going to use from that Colourpop collection, but I ended up going with Mary. They were both really pretty, but I don't know, the Mary one just spoke to me. So I used the Duo, I used the lip liner, and of course it is super creamy, super pigmented. If you haven't tried Colourpop lip liners, girl, you are missing out. They are super pigmented, like I said. They just glide so well, and I feel like lip liners just make everything go together and look a little bit more cleaner. So I do love using them. And then of course I'm gonna be using that lipstick. Let me tell y'all, this formula was so amazing. I didn't think I was gonna be a fan of the lipstick because I just feel like it smears off right away, but this was so pigmented, so creamy, and I just think it looked so beautiful, and it wasn't drying at all either. So I don't know, y'all, I might be using lipstick more often. Of course, you cannot forget your setting spray. Today I used the Milani Fetish. I want to say it was like a mango scent. It smelled pretty good, and honestly I did feel like it made my makeup last, so I would definitely use it again. Bye. Alright guys, so this is the final look. What do you guys think? I honestly think it came out so nice. I love how the eye look came out. I was starting to get a little iffy with that black, but you know what? I like how it came out. Like, it's not super vibrant, like super black, because it does have those sparkles in it. But I just wanted to see how it would work. And this color right here, which is Come Little Children, it does have sparkle as well, but I wanted to try it in the crease because I know there's some colors that, even though it kind of has like that fake sparkle, as I call it, it doesn't really come out on the eye. But it actually worked out pretty well. Like I said, I was kind of nervous at first because when I was applying it, I was like, ooh, it's like not picking up. But once you keep kind of blending more, then it works out good. But honestly, I love how this came out. This lip is so gorgeous. I love this tone of red. Like I said, this is the Mary Duo, and I really like how it came out. If you've seen before, you know I always say that I love like a red lip and like a neutral eye. I think it's such a pretty look, especially on me. I don't know why I'm talking with my hands so much, but especially with me, I just love how it looks. I think it complements my eyes really well. Thank you guys so much. Like always, please be sure to definitely subscribe and also ring that notification bell, so every time I upload a video you will definitely be notified. And also, please don't forget to follow all my socials. Catch me on the TikTok, the Instagram, Twitter. They are all the same. It is the Jams2535. And also, please follow my business page where I'm making these gorgeous earrings. I'm so in love with this shape. I'm actually about to announce this shape probably this week, but of course you guys are always getting a sneak preview. But yeah, definitely be sure to follow me on there, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.